Hello everyone, my name is J. Amrut Sai. I belong to Andhra Pradesh. I've recently cleared NIACL AO and IBPS clerk. This is my first attempt. I would like to thank the entire CWJ team for this. It's been possible only because of the video course and the entire DAMAL sessions on YouTube. In this video, I'll discuss each and everything step by step, that is individual subject strategies, maths, reasoning, English, general awareness, descriptive, mock test, interview. I'll even discuss about the preparation journey of mine and the mistakes which I committed during the preparation so that you can avoid and the final takeaways in this video. So before getting into the video, I'd like to mention one point, that is I've done my graduation in Sastra University, Tanjavuru. That is the reason why எனக்கு தமிழ் நல்லாவே புரியும். ஆனால் when it comes to speaking, I might pronounce some Tamil words wrongly. That is the reason why I'm doing this video completely in English. I'm not doing this video in Tamil. I'm so sorry for not speaking in Tamil. So now let's get into the video. I've started my preparation around March 2021. Before that, I used to work in an IT firm. Then I decided to quit the job and start preparation for banking and insurance exams. So when I initially started the preparation, fortunately, I came across Crack with Jack YouTube channel. So I checked the videos on their YouTube channel and I found the teaching style of, if you take Jackson sir or Reena ma'am or Kanish sir, they are like very energetic and they are very impressive. And the best part is that the teaching style, it can be understood by every person. Even though if you are like a pro, you can understand very well. Even though if you are like a very slow learner, they'll make us to reach to a pro stage from a beginner. So the way of explaining each and everything, it's like very good. So so I've checked the video course of that Crack with Jack, and also in that video course they have given all the topics in the systematic manner. So I decided to buy that video course, and also I bought that video course. I've cleared my entire basic concepts from that video course. See, as a candidate who is staying at home, I did not like getting into the coaching center. So I want my basics concepts to get cleared from home in a systematic manner. That is the reason why I decided to buy the video course. Uh, See, nowadays you can have the ample amount of sources on YouTube. You can just type boats and streams, permutation, combination, probability on YouTube, and also you can get that topic and you can get the related problems to that. But the thing is, having each and everything step by step, having each and everything in a systematic fashion, that is very, very important so as to clear the basics. So I've bought the video course. Trust me, if you are a beginner, do go for the video course. You will never regret after paying that amount, and even the amount is also very affordable. So if you are staying at home and if you are like a beginner, I'll assure you that you'll not get disappointed after paying the video course. So now let us discuss about the individual subject strategies. I have started my preparation initially with max subject. So I basically split this aptitude section into three categories. One is Speedmax, the other is arithmetic, and the other is data interpretation. So in Speedmax, we'll have all the easiest topics, like we have simplification, we have approximation, we have quadratic equation, we have number series. Right, in number series, we'll have missing series and wrong number series. So what I did initially was I watched the lectures in the video course and I started making notes for every topic in the video course. So I have started my preparation in mathematics with Speedmax. Always start with Speedmax first. Do not ever jump to arithmetic and EA. It's because in Speedmax you have to complete the minimum basic steps firstly. First, what I did, I learned taking the square root of a number first. I learned taking the cube root of a number. I learned squares till 35. I learned cubes till 15. I learned the percentage to fraction values. That is very, very important. That is 1 by 2 equal to 50%, 1 by 3 equal to 33.33%, 1 by 11 equal to 9.09%, 1 by 12 equal to 8.33%. So all these values are very, very important. So many will say that you need to study squares till 50, cubes till 20. That is not at all required, dude. Steady squares till 35 and cubes till 15. That is more than enough. It's because, and study the percentage to fraction values till 1 by 15. That is very, very important. It's because if you study all these squares, cubes, and learning the percentage to fraction values, it will help you a lot in solving simplifications, and that will be boosting your speed while solving some of the DA questions as well. So that is the reason why start with the Speedmax and also try to complete that Speedmax portion first. After completing Speedmax, then I have moved to the data interpretation section. So coming into this data interpretation section, so this data interpretation section, I feel that this data interpretation questions will revolve maximum to maximum based on 3 to 4 formulae. They'll ask you to take the ratio. If not, they'll ask you to take the average. If not, they'll ask you to take the percentage increase value or the percentage decrease value. So what is a percentage increase? What is a percentage decrease? So these types of questions can be raised from DA. So what I did was I looked at all the model graphs in the DA. Like we have the different types of DA. We have pie chart based DA, we have tabular DA, we have bar graph, and we have nowadays we are getting different types of DA like candlestick DA and the funnel based DA. So all these DAs, just try to look at the model graphs of all the DA and get an idea of that respective graph. So this data interpretation section, I feel this data interpretation and arithmetic section are the deciding factors in the mains examination. Every person will give the more importance to the Speedmax, and every person can do Speedmax very well. But the thing is, the real competition lies in this data interpretation and arithmetic section only. So that is the reason why do not neglect data interpretation section. So for data interpretation, I strongly recommend you that if you can afford a material, then there is a thing called data interpretation decoded by Hollywood. So that material is very, very helpful. In that, they have given all the types of DA they have covered in that. So just go through that material. That material I have referred it personally, and I strongly recommend you to buy that material so that you will have an idea of all the different types of DA. So after completing this data interpretation section, I move to the arithmetic section. So coming into the arithmetic section, so for arithmetic section, I listed down all the arithmetic topics individually. Like we have percentages, profit and loss, simple interest, compound interest, etc. on all those topics. So all those topics, I listed down the topics, and also I wrote all the sample questions and the formulas related to the topic in the video course as well. The way Kani sir, he has explained all the topics in the video course, that is too good. So follow that video course and complete each and every arithmetic chapter very well, and try to make a notes of that every chapter. Making notes is very, very important. It's because before getting into the exam, you just go through that notes and you just revise all the formula related to that topic, and you just have a grip on that arithmetic topic. I repeat, do not ever take arithmetic topics in a linear manner. I see so many people will leave permutation, combination, probability, and mensuration and all these chapters. All the persons maximum to maximum in the examination, they'll solve simplifications, approximation, quadratic equation, number series, and data interpretation. Then they will have 20 to 25 marks in their hand. But the real fight is in between 25 to 35 marks. That can be acquired, that can be solved by the candidates who are strong in arithmetic and data interpretation. That is the reason why, if you want to take a lead when compared to the other candidates, you should not neglect arithmetic section. You should give equal amount of importance. The way you give equal amount of importance to Speedmax, the way you show interest while solving Speedmax, that has to be there while solving arithmetic section as well. Do not take that in a lenient manner. That is very, very important. So after clearing all the arithmetic topics, then I've started giving mock tests. So completing all the chapters, completing all the basics, that is very important firstly. The second most important point is the way how you attempt the paper. Order of attempting the paper is very, very important. So for prelims mock test, what I used to do was I used to complete the Speedmax first. that is simplifications. I used to solve first, then I used to solve approximation, then I used to solve quadratic, then I used to solve number series, then I used to solve DI, then I used to solve arithmetic. This should be your sequence in the prelims examination. I repeat, even though if you are like a pro in max, even though if you are like very strong in aptitude section, even though if you have completed all the arithmetic topics perfectly, but the thing is, do not ever start with arithmetic or DI. That kill your ego for some time, and also always starts with Speedmax. That is very very important. If you start with Speedmax and if you have 15 marks in your hand, then you feel confident, and also you can solve all the remaining 20 marks with a free mind. But if you touch DI or if you touch arithmetic and if it consumes for about 2 to 2.5 minutes and if you don't get the answer, that anxiety will be continuing throughout the paper. That is the reason why the sequence should be like Speedmax first, then DI, then arithmetic. This should be your approach while attempting the prelims question paper. Similarly, the way how you attend the prelims examination, the same strategy should be there for the mains examination. So what I used to do for mains examination is that, so for mains examination, the strategy should be like, as soon as the mains exam question paper get open, so what I used to do, I used to refer to the entire question paper for the first 2 minutes. I did not even touch anything. So I need to look at the entire question paper. See, though it wastes your 2 to 3 minutes of time, but try to look at the entire question paper first and try to pick the easier ones and try to leave the difficult ones. In the mains examination, the choice of selecting the questions, that plays a very important role. The person who picks the right questions and solve the questions, he'll be the winner in the mains examination. So just for the first 2 minutes, go through the entire question paper, try to mark for review the questions which you feel like you can solve. Try to look at some of the, see, mains examination you'll not get much of Speedmax, but the thing is at least 2 to 3 questions will be from Speedmax. Then there will be the mains exam question paper will be set in such a way that you cannot solve all the questions. Out of 50, you can solve 20 to 25, but those 20 to 25 you need to pick perfectly. So that choice of selection is very important. So this has to be your strategy for mains examination. Go through the paper, mark for review the questions, correct, pick the easier ones and leave the difficult ones. So how you know that I need to pick this one, I need to leave this one? This comes only through mock test. So if you implement this strategy in mock test, if you practice as many mock tests as possible, then you'll automatically have a mindset that okay, this has to be my way of doing the questions in the examination. So always remember, prelims and mains are two different things. Prelims require speed and accuracy, that comes through practice, and mains require the choice of selecting the questions and the concepts. So these are the two important things, and these are the two things which you need to handle very carefully. So this is the order of attempting the prelims and mains exams question paper. So coming into the mains level preparation for max, so what I did was I referred a playlist of Kanisar. He has explained all the I guess he has made so many videos. So I've referred for about 2 to 3 playlists of Kanisar on Crack with Jack YouTube channel. He has covered so many different types of problems and he has done so many memory based questions as well. So refer to the playlist video of Kanisar. That is very important for mains. And the second thing is, I've already told you, I've referred to a material called Data Interpretation Decoded by Olive Board. That is also very important. And the third most important thing for mains exam is, so for mains, the mock test is the best solution, man. The mock test is the best material, I can say, because in mock test they'll cover all the different types of DA, all the difficult level arithmetic questions that can be found out only through mock test. So for mains, you need to do only one thing, that is you need to give the mock test and also you need to go through the mains level videos of Kanisar. This is a source of preparation for my prelims and mains examination for mathematics. So as to sum up the strategy for maths, I'll tell you, first clear the basic concepts, complete Speedmax, then go for a DI and arithmetic and start giving the mock test. Analyze the mock test very well. giving mock test and analyzing the mock test is also very, very important. If you give the mock test for 1 hour, those 1 hour that should be given for analysis. You need to check your correct answers, you need to check your wrong answers, you need to check the questions which you skipped. Mock test should always be treated like your real examination. That pressure you need to go through at the home itself so that you feel confident while going into the examination, right? So this is a strategy for max examination. I repeat, do not ever have a max phobia that this max is not scoring. I see so many friends of mine who show a lot of love and affection towards reasoning subject, but the thing is max subject always have a mindset that the max subject is very scoring, and the quants section, if it is difficult for you, it is difficult for everyone because you have fetched 8 to 10 months of preparation for this exam, so the other candidate might have also fetched the same thing. So if it is difficult for you, it will be difficult for the other person as well. Always keep in mind that even though the paper is difficult, I need to be calm, I need to be composed, I need to pick the right questions, I need the wrong questions. So this has to be your mindset while attempting the paper. And this is about max preparation strategy. Now we will move on to the reasoning section. So coming into the reasoning section, I'll split this reasoning section into two categories again. One is miscellaneous portion and the other is seating arrangement and puzzles. So in the miscellaneous portion, we have inequality, syllogism, alphanumeric series, alphabet sequence, number sequence, distance and direction, blood relation, and machine input output, etc. So what I did initially was I completed the miscellaneous portion first. It's because that is a easier portion. Then I moved to the puzzles and seating arrangement. I would like to mention one point. Jackson sir, I feel that he's the best faculty for reasoning. It's because in the video course, the way he covered each and every topic and the way he explained the basics, it is too good. It will be understood by every person. So you'll not even have a doubt on the topic. You will become like a pro in reasoning. He'll take you from a beginner stage to a pro level. So I cleared all the basics and also I made the notes for every topic in reasoning. So first complete the miscellaneous portion in the reasoning, then I moved to the puzzles and seating arrangement. So this puzzles and seating arrangement, I'd like to say that this puzzles and seating arrangement, it's like a hell for me, dude. It's because in puzzles and seating arrangement, initially I used to take for about, there is no variable attached, and also I used to take for about like 6 to 7 minutes to solve the puzzle, and I used to find it difficult. So what I did was, if you are facing difficulty in initial stages while solving, so I used to write the clues in the puzzles. So many will say that don't write the clues, it's just a wastage of time. All the kids will write the clues. So do not ever feel shy or do not ever feel hesitated to write the clues. If you are in the beginner stage, then there is no point of feeling shy or there is no point of getting hesitated to write the clues. So what I did was, I used to write the clues by looking at the puzzle. If there is a puzzle related, like if A is sitting second to the right of B, I used to write it like B bracket 2RA. And if there are two persons between A and C, I used to write it like A, two blanks and C. You get my point, right? So writing clues is very, very important in the initial stages. If you write the clues and also if you start solving the puzzle, initially it takes for about like 30 to 45 seconds to write the clues, that's it. Then if you start solving the puzzle, that becomes very easier for you. In the prelims level, at least if you don't write the clues, you can easily do that question. But in the mains level, there will be the variables attached. In the SBAPO and NIACL AO mains, they'll give the puzzle with 2 or 3 variables attached. And at that time, there is no other option. Even the pro in reasoning will also start writing the clues at the sideways, right? So if you are finding it difficult, try to write the clues, then start solving the puzzle. Always start solving the puzzles without any variables attached, then go with the variables attached, then start solving the difficult puzzles. Do not ever pick the puzzles which are like with 2 to 3 variables attached. That creates that creates less interest towards reasoning. That is the reason why start solving the easy level puzzles first, then you move to the hard level and the difficult level. So if you want to refer to a material, then I referred a material called Puzzle Mania by Olive Board. Just like data interpretation decoded by Olive Board, in this Puzzle Mania by Olive Board, they have given all the different types of puzzles. So whenever you get time, you just open and also you just start solving the puzzles. So coming into the mains level preparation for reasoning, I followed only two things. One is I referred a material of Olive Board, that is Puzzle Mania by Olive Board, and the other thing is I've looked at all the videos of Jackson sir on YouTube. He has made ample amount of videos on reasoning. So you go through all the videos of Jackson sir. Those playlists are very helpful. The best part of Jackson sir videos is that for every topic he has made separate videos individually. So he has made alphanumeric series mains level, alphabet sequence mains level, syllogism mains level. So he has listed down the individual topics, and also he has covered the mains level topics of that respective topic. So you go through all that topic and also get an idea of the mains level questions. And one more thing I'd like to mention, that is in the puzzles and seating arrangement, if you look at the mains level, there will be 10 to 15 lines, and also that after looking at those 10 to 15 lines, we feel like irritated and vexed while solving the puzzle. Do not ever have that sort of attitude. Just Jackson sir has done many difficult level puzzles on his playlist. Go through all that. And also the thing is, just try to look at the approach of Jackson sir, the way how he's picking up the clues, the way how he's fetching the clues, and the way how he's solving the puzzle. So try to look at his approach and try to implement that approach, and try to get an idea of all the difficult types of difficult types of questions. That's not a big deal. So try to complete his videos, and also try to refer to the Puzzle Mania by Hollywood. These two are the best for mains level preparation for reasoning, I feel. So coming into the paper attempting strategy, just like in mathematics, you'll solve Speedmax, then you'll solve DA, then you'll solve arithmetic. In the similar way, while attempting the prelims test, you need to solve the miscellaneous portion first. Like you need to solve all the inequality. Other than seating arrangement and puzzles, you need to complete the miscellaneous portion according to your convenience, whatever topic you are strong at. But the thing is, seating arrangement and puzzles should be solved at last. Do not ever start the question paper with seating arrangement or puzzles. Even if you are a pro, even if you are a perfect even if you are perfect in reasoning, but the thing is, do not ever go for puzzles or seating arrangement initially. It's because if in case, unfortunately, if you get stuck in a puzzle, and if you have wasted first 2.5 to 3 minutes of time, then those 2.5 to 3 minutes of time, that will impact your entire exam. So that is the reason why start with the miscellaneous portion, and then you'll have some sort of confidence, and then you'll have 15 to 20 marks in your pocket. So the remaining 15 marks, that can be solved by the puzzles. So you can solve all the puzzles and complete the remaining portion. This has to be your attempting strategy in prelims. In the mains level also, there is no difference. The only thing is that just go through the entire question paper for 2 to 3 minutes. Try to mark for review the questions which are easy. Then first solve the miscellaneous portion, then start solving the seating arrangement and puzzles in the mains as well. This has to be your attempting strategy. Always remember, pick the easier ones and leave the difficult ones, and that comes only through practice, and that practice can be acquired only through mock test. This is the thing which you need to keep in mind. Now talking about the English preparation, I'll split this English into three categories again. One is grammar, the other is reading, the other is vocabulary. So before starting the preparation for English exam, I referred so many success stories on YouTube, like what is the correct strategy for English. So many people used to say that I used to read 2 to 3 editorials every day, 3 to 4 editorials every day. I used to focus on reading a lot. I did not touch grammar and all these things. Trust me, dude, if you are a beginner and if you start reading editorials initially, you're gonna feel irritated and vexed towards English subject. Never ever start reading editorials in the initial stages. The first and the foremost thing is to complete the grammar portion. I personally feel that completing grammar is very important. It's because the grammar portion If you complete the grammar portion, you gonna get to have the basic understanding of English, and also you'll have the interest, you'll get the interest towards the English subject. In the initial stages itself, if you pick the editorial of Hindu, if you pick the editorial of Indian Express and start reading some article related to business and finance section, you gonna start sleeping. That is a thing which gonna happen if you start in the initial stages itself. So what I did was I completed the grammar portion initially. I listed down all the topics in the grammar section. Like we have different type of topics. Like we have parts of speech. There is noun, pronoun, verb, adverb, conjunction, interjection. All these come under. And there is a thing called tenses. And there is a thing called active voice and passive voice. And there is articles. There is preposition. There is subject verb agreement. So try to look at all these grammar topics, try to complete all the basic questions from these topics, and try to get an idea from these topics. You'll not get directly the noun related questions or the pronoun related questions, but the thing is, the applications of grammar is the prelims exam, I feel, because prelims exam does not require much of reading. The reading concept comes only in the mains examination. There the comprehending power and the understanding power will come into picture. But in the prelims exam, if you are perfect in grammar, then you can automatically solve all the sections. Like you, if you are good at grammar, then you can solve error spotting, then you can solve what is that, sentence rearrangement, then you can solve simple sentence improvement as well. So then parajumbles can be interlinked only through this grammar only, right? The vocabulary picture comes in the closed test, and the reading picture comes in the reading comprehension. So that is the reason why try to complete the grammar portion in the initial stage, then you move on to the reading section. That is very very important. Do not neglect grammar section. Grammar, though it has a very less weightage in banking, it has more weightage in SSC, but the completing grammar requires completing grammar is very important so as to get the proper understanding of the subject. That is very very important. After completing the grammar portion, then I switched towards reading. So for reading, I'll strongly recommend you to read anything of your own interest. It's not compulsory that an aspirant will become a probationary officer only if he completes reading editorials. That is not the case. Read anything of your own interest. If you are a book lover, start reading novels or start reading storybooks. I am a type of person who is neither interested towards reading books nor interested reading towards editorials. That is the reason why what I used to do, I used to install an application called Daily Hunt. So in that Daily Hunt, there used to be different articles on movies, on entertainment, on cricket, and on business section, on finance section, and all, on politics and all. So I'm more interested towards movies and cricket. That is the reason why I used to read at least 2 to 3 articles every day on movies and cricket. It's because why I'm telling you this point is that if you read something of your own interest, then that creates interest towards that subject, and also that will inculcate the habit of reading every day. If you I don't like reading business and finance section. So if I open business and finance section in the early morning and if I start reading, I automatically start sleeping. That is a case which gonna happen. That is the reason why read anything of your own interest, but do not ever neglect the habit of reading. Try to inculcate that habit of reading every day, at least 30 to 40 minutes. And so apart from reading articles, whenever I get bored, I used to watch the interviews of cricketers on Sky Sports Cricket. And whenever I get bored, I used to watch all the movie interviews. Like I used to watch many interviews of Anupama Chopra and Bharadwaj Rangan on Filmy Companion and on Galata Plus. If you are a movie fanatic, I'll strongly recommend you to watch all those interviews. All those interview conversations will happen in English. You'll get to know about the movie making and stuff, and you'll get to understand all the English, right? See, this might appear very silly and weird, but the thing is, watching movies or watching K dramas or something with English subtitles, and watching movie interviews with subtitles, and also reading small novels and storybooks, these are the small things which will create big changes. These are the small things which will create interest towards English subject, and these are the small things which will develop the understanding of English. That is the reason why I'll strongly recommend you to read anything of your own interest and develop the habit of reading every day, and do not neglect reading, because that will decide your fate in the mains exam. Mains exam is all about comprehending and understanding. Then there comes the reading concept. That is the reason why complete the grammar portion, then switch to the reading, and give more importance to reading after you become perfect in grammar, right? So now talking about the vocabulary section, for vocabulary, what I did was whenever I come across new words while reading an article, I used to write down that word, I used to write down the meaning of that word, and I used to revise those words in every weekend. Uh, so try to implement this strategy. That is, what I did was, if there is a word called abstruse meaning is difficult to comprehend or understand. So I used to write down the word, I used to write down the meaning, and I used to frame an example of my own. That is, in the initial stage, Arjun Reddy's cinema script seemed abstruse, but later I loved it, says Vijay Devarkonda in an interview. So why I used to write it in this way is that because there will be the ample amount of words, and it becomes very difficult for you to revise, or it becomes very difficult for you to remember those words. If you frame those words with an examples related to your personal life, or related to your favorite actors or movies or cricketers, then that will automatically stick in your brain. That is the reason why try to learn at least 5 to 10 new words every day. Try to write it on a notes, and also try to revise it every weekend. And this is the only thing for vocabulary. You need not buy a material for vocabulary. I referred a material called Word Power Made Easy by Norman Lewis, but I believe that this material is of no use. So just try to write the words which you come across while reading articles or editorials, and try to frame an example with those words, and try to revise it every weekend. This is about vocabulary. Now coming into the paper attempt strategy, just like in the English section, the only thing what you need to do is that you need to start solving reading comprehension at last. That is the only thing which you need to do, and the remaining sections you can attempt however you want to. You can start solving closed test, or you can start solving error spotting first, you can start solving sentence connectors or whatever. But the thing is, always approach reading comprehension at last. That is the only thing which you need to keep in mind. Either for prelims exams or mains exam, try to complete all the miscellaneous portions initially, then you move on to the reading comprehension. This is about how you attempt the prelims and mains exam. There is no much difference for prelims and mains. RC should be approached at last. That is the thing which you need to keep in mind. This is about English section. Now, so as to sum up the strategy for English, I could say first complete the grammar portion initially, and I would like to refer one more video, that is 120 Rules of Grammar by Nimisha Bansal ma'am. So that video is for about like 11 hours, I guess. Try to spend 2 hours every day and try to complete that 120 Rules of Grammar. So first complete the grammar portion, refer 120 Rules of Grammar by Nimisha Bansal ma'am, then develop the habit of reading every day and spend at least 30 minutes every day for reading. And the last point is try giving sectional mock tests in English. Giving sectional mock tests in English is very important, and also that will help you a lot in the mains examination. So this is about the strategy for English. Now let's move on to the general awareness section. Now talking about the general awareness section, I'll split this general awareness into three categories again. One is static GK, the other is banking awareness, the other is current affairs. I ignored static GK completely. The main focus should be on current affairs and banking awareness. So for current affairs, I have completely relied on only two sources. One is Affairs Cloud and the other is Steady IQ. I believe that Jackson sir is the best faculty for reasoning. In the similar way, I believe that Gaurav Garg sir of Steady IQ is the best faculty for current affairs. It's because the way he interlinks the concepts while explaining current affairs is simply superb. The way he interlinks, the way he repeats the things, that is very important. What is the meaning of interlinking? For suppose if there is a thing called, if you read some news about Tamil Nadu, there is a thing recently in Tamil Nadu, there is a tiger reserve called Steviliptur Megamalai Tiger Reserve that has become the 51st tiger reserve of India, and that is the fifth tiger reserve of Tamil Nadu. So, if that question comes, then this sir automatically makes us to remember all the things about Tamil Nadu. Then he'll start speaking like there is a scheme called Meendam Manjappai scheme, that is of Tamil Nadu, which promotes the use of cloth bags and reduce the use of plastic bags. And he'll start saying like Tamil Nadu, there is a new governor called R.N. Ravi, and the former governor of Tamil Nadu, Banwal Purohit, now he has become the governor of Punjab. And there is recently an instrument called Narsingapatte Nagaswaram that has become the GA tag. And there is a thing called India's first food processing museum that is going to be set up in Tanjavur, Tamil Nadu. So in this way, he'll make us to remember all the things related to that respective state, and he interlinks all the concepts, and also he'll make us to not to forget that question. So the best part of Gaurav sir video course is that. Uh, he explains each and everything in 20 to 30 minutes. I've seen so many faculty of current affairs where they used to take for about like 1.5 hours. They'll just display the PPT, and also they'll just explain what is in the PPT. That's it. They'll not interlink the concepts, or they'll not make us to revise all the things. So I strongly believe that Gaurav sir is the best faculty for current affairs. You just check out his current affairs course, and also try to buy that course. That is very very helpful, I'll surely say that. And apart from this, I followed the Affairs Cloud weekly PDFs. If you are following Affairs Cloud daily, I'll strongly recommend you not to buy Study IQ. It's because following Affairs Cloud daily is the greatest of the greatest jobs, I can say. Affairs Cloud, that content will be like very huge. And the only thing what I felt about Affairs Cloud is that I don't even understand when it comes to revision. I don't even understand like which PDF do I need to refer, because there will be so many PDFs of Affairs Cloud. Like I will have the pocket PDF, we'll have the weekly PDFs, we will have the monthly PDFs, we'll have the daily PDFs. I don't even understand at the time of revision which PDF I need to pick and which PDF I need to revise. That is the reason why if you are following it daily, do not ever go for the other source. Just follow Affairs Cloud daily. But if you are not following it daily, make sure you need to have the current affairs from at least two sources. So what I used to do the daily current affairs from Study IQ. Then I used to complete the weekly. I used to revise weekly from Affairs Cloud. So, so many will say that you need to study the current affairs of last 6 months or 7 months and all. That is not at all required. Nowadays, you need to focus only the current affairs of last 4 to 5 months perfectly. I feel that 4 months is more than enough. Just try to complete 4 months of current affairs, and you have to study those current affairs in depth. So, what is the meaning of depth? So for suppose I remember in IBPS PU and in NIACL AO, they have asked only the questions from the last 1 month. That's it. In IBPS PO, the current affairs, it's more like a December affairs. So they have focused entirely on the 2 months itself. So studying current affairs in depth is very important. I'll just give you a small example. In SBI PO, there is a question called there's a person who has won the Miss Universe recently. She's from India. Her name is Harna Sandhu. So we'll study that her name is Harna Sandhu, and she has won the Miss Universe, and she belongs to Chandigarh, Punjab. But they have asked which numbered Miss Universe is she? Like she is the 70th Miss Universe, right? And so this is about reading in depth. So we have to study. For suppose there is a new Chief Justice of India. His name is 48th Chief Justice. His name is N.V. Ramana. Before that, we have Bobde, and he's a 47th Chief Justice. For suppose if you are studying a naval exercise between two countries, India and France, Varuna. We used to study that Varuna is a naval exercise between India and France, but that is not the only thing which you need to do. You have to study that is a 20th edition, and that took place in Arabian Sea, and which ship has participated. So we have to study which numbered edition, where it took place, and which ship has participated from Indian Navy. So this is studying current affairs in depth. So make sure you study 4 months of current affairs in depth, and make sure you revise it every day. I strongly repeat this point: revision, revision, revision. This is the only solution for current affairs. It's because if you look at all the southern states like Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, and Kerala, if there is any scheme related to our southern states, as we got used to all these states, so we'll not forget all these things. But there will be so many schemes in northern India that will lead to a lot of confusion, like Gargar Aushadhi Yojana, Gargar Ration Yojana, and so all this school Chale Abhiyan and Chalo Sati Abhiyan. So all these sort of schemes that will be like very confusing, and there will be so many Pradesh, like you'll get a lot of confusion. Madhya Pradesh, Arunachal Pradesh, Uttar Pradesh, uh, Himachal Pradesh, all these things, all these confusions will be eliminated only if you have a proper amount of revision. So try to revise at least 3 to 4 times before you get into the examination. Even though if you are a topper, or even though if you are a slow learner, revision is the only thing that will fetch you the selection in the current affairs. That's it. So do not neglect revision, and try to make sure you study the current affairs, and try to make sure you study from two sources, and try to revise it. So now for banking awareness, I referred to the videos of a person called Supriyo Panda. There is a playlist of Supriyo Panda on YouTube, The Banking Awareness by Supriyo Panda. He explained each and every concept in detail. So what I did was I made a notes for every topic, and I have gone through all his videos. He has explained it very well. Just refer to that playlist, that is Banking Awareness by Supriyo Panda. This is the only source which I followed for banking awareness. And coming into the insurance awareness, so for insurance awareness, I referred a material of Hollywood, which is the free PDF of Hollywood, that is Insurance Awareness by Hollywood. That is a free PDF which will be available to you on Hollywood app, that is free of cost. So these are the only two things which I referred for banking awareness and insurance awareness. And talking about the static GK, this static GK, you need not study static GK, you need not pay attention to static GK separately. It's just a wastage of time if you spend time reading national parks, tiger reserves, wildlife sanctuaries, thermal power plants, nuclear power plants. All these things will not at all be asked in the exam. Even though if they ask, they'll ask only 1 to 2 questions, and those 1 to 2 questions will also be covered from the news which are in current affairs. So try to cover the static GK along with the current affairs which are in news. For suppose if you come across a state, you'll automatically study about that state capital, CM, governor. Similarly, if you study about a country, then you'll automatically study what is a capital, what is a currency, what is a president, who is a president, and who is a prime minister. Similarly, if you study about the bank assurance, then you'll study about what is a bank, what is a MD and CEO, who is a head, where is the headquarters, and what is the tagline of that bank. So you have to study the current affairs, you have to study the static GK which are in news. That is very, very important. Don't waste your time by reading static GK separately. Give more attention to banking awareness and current affairs. So coming into this banking awareness, will also have the very less weightage in the mains examination. But this banking awareness will only be like a savior in the interview. This interview will revolve around all the concepts of banking awareness and the insurance awareness. That that there comes they will test you all the topics related to the banking awareness and insurance awareness in the interview. So you don't have any other option. We have to complete the banking awareness, that is compulsory. And this is about the general awareness section. Now we'll move on to the descriptive writing. So now talking about the descriptive writing, this descriptive writing is again divided into two phases. One is letter writing and the other is essay writing. So this letter writing, for letter writing, what I did was I referred all the samples of Affairs Cloud. There will be Affairs Cloud letter writing samples. You can type that, and also you can go through all the letter writing samples. So try to get an idea of the format of the letter. In this letter writing, we have only two types. One is formal letter and the other is informal letter. Informal letter is writing a letter to your friends or relatives and stuff, but formal letter will have a letter to a editor or letter to the bank manager and stuff. So always prefer formal letter over informal letter. Do not ever go for informal letter. Always prefer formal over informal. It's because if you prefer the formal letter, for the format itself, it takes so much of a word count. So that is, you're gonna write the sender's address, you're gonna write the receiver's address and stuff. So in the formal letter also, you need not even bother about the letter writing, because in letter writing you will remember the sender's address, you will remember the receiver address. And if a letter to a bank manager, then there will be constant phrases which you need to keep in mind, dude. For suppose you'll write it like, I'm an account holder in your bank for the last 10 years. This is my account number, and I'm writing this letter to inform you that. You'll copy the question. And at last, you'll write that I request you to look into the matter as soon as possible, and looking forward to hearing from you soon. Similarly, for editor, what you do, I request you to highlight the issue in your newspaper. Kindly look into this matter, and looking forward to hearing from you soon. So, sender's address you're gonna keep in mind, receiver's address you're gonna keep in mind, and you'll write the starting phase like I'm an account holder, that you'll write automatically. And at the end, looking forward to hearing from you soon. I request you to look into this matter as soon as possible. That also you'll write. The only thing is that the middle paragraph, the body of the letter, that is the only thing which you need to go there and which you need to type. So that 3 to 4 lines you can easily write that. That's not a big deal. So try to prefer a letter writing, formal letter writing over informal letter writing. And coming into the essay writing, for essay writing, you need to take care of only 3 to 4 things. One is you should avoid making grammatical errors. You should avoid making spelling mistakes. You should take care of the word count, and you should avoid making punctuation errors. It's not required that if you use the high class vocabulary and if you use the difficult words, you're gonna get more marks. That's not the case here. You try to make the writing an essay very simple, but make sure you avoid all the grammatical and spelling errors and stuff. So what is the meaning of this punctuation errors? This punctuation errors is nothing but, for suppose if you write a sentence like, Amrit lives in Karnool, full stop, and after that you need to write a letter capital by giving the space. Amrit lives in Karnool, full stop. He likes to play badminton. So this is a thing, a sentence. So after full stop there has to be a gap. And similarly, if there is a thing called double inverted commas, if you start a sentence with double inverted commas, you have to close the sentence with double inverted commas only. You should not close the sentence with single inverted commas. So take care of all those punctuation errors. Try avoiding those punctuation errors while writing an essay, and don't make spelling errors and grammatical errors. These are the basic things. And make sure you try to fulfill the word count of about 200 to 250 words accordingly, with respect to the given exam. So descriptive writing, you need not feel tensed or worried about this. Try to make sure you write the essay very simple, and try to avoid all these mistakes. So whenever I used to prepare for NIACL AO mains, SBA PO mains, and IBPS PO mains, I listed down some of the important topics of descriptive writing which they'll ask, which are very very important. So I felt like these are the basic topics which we need to have an idea of. So I listed down, these are I'll display, these are some of the important topics of descriptive. Try to complete these descriptive topics, because these are the basic topics, and these are the must do topics for every person. So see, for descriptive you need not mug up, or you need not do all the things. The only thing is like, try to frame the essay on your own. Try to I did only one thing for practice. I installed an app called Grammarly, so that is free of cost. So I installed Grammarly application, and then I used to write the essay on Notepad. I used to copy that, and I used to paste that on Grammarly. That will automatically detect the grammatical errors, and so accordingly I used to improve writing an essay. So you need to do, don't it's not like you have to do descriptive every day. At least spend at least 1 to 2 days in a week, and try to take one essay, and try to write essay on your own, and try to paste that on Grammarly, and also try to check the errors in that essay. So in this way you can improve descriptive writing. Do not take this descriptive writing section, do not feel like this is a difficult section. Always feel that this descriptive writing, if you follow the format of the letter, and if you follow the basic things in essay, you're gonna get sufficient marks in the exam. So you need not feel tensed or worried about this. So This is all about letter writing and essay writing. Now we'll move on to the mock test. So coming into mock test, I referred only two platforms. One is textbook and the other is practice mock. If you are a beginner, I'll strongly recommend you to buy textbook. It's because textbook is the best and affordable test series you can get. And when I used to give mock test in the month of June or July after clearing the basics, so at that time the question level used to be very easy, but slowly they have increased the level of the textbook. So the level of questions have got increased in textbook, so you need not have a second idea in your mind that I should not buy this. You should go for buying textbook. Apart from buying textbook, then you can refer to the other platform. So for prelims you can completely rely on textbook, and for mains I referred practice mock test series. That question level is also very good, and also you're gonna get the different types of questions of mains level in practice mock. So I referred the textbook and practice mock for mock test. So after clearing basics in 4 to 5 months, I started giving mock test. So I used to give prelims mock, one prelims mock every day. So so many people used to say that I used to give 2 to 3 prelims mock every day. If you are doing so, that's well and good. But the thing is, even though if you give one prelims mock every day, try to analyze that mock test. Analyzing mock test is very very important. Just giving 3 to 4 and not analyzing, that's just a wastage of time. Even though if you give one or two, make sure you analyze that mock test very well. Try to analyze the weak areas, try to focus on the weak areas and try to rectify those mistakes in the upcoming mock test. And similarly for mains mock test, I used to give 2 mock tests in a week. So it's because mains mock test, it takes for about like 2 to 2.5 hours, and also the analysis also takes a lot of time. That is the reason why, even though if you give 2 to 3 mock tests, so make sure you analyze the mock test very well. So for prelims you need to give at least one mock every day. For mains, at least give twice in a week. So this is about attempting the mock test. And do not ever take mock test in a very lenient manner. It's because the way how you give the real exams, the same sort of attitude and mindset you should have while giving the mock test. Do not treat this mock test like in a friendly manner, like and just passing the mock test and doing your friends and all, doing your calling your friends and talking to them and chatting with your friends and again attending the mock test. That should not be your strategy. 1 hour, 2 hours in the mains exam, 1 hour in the prelims exam, the way how you sit in your chair, the same thing you need to sit, you need to solve, you need to have your complete attention towards mock test. Is that clear? See, this mock test, if you solve many mock tests, that will improve the speed, that will improve the accuracy, and also that will boost your confidence as well in the examination. So mock test is very very important for every banking aspirant. Do not treat this in a very light manner. Once I was done with the mains exam, then I started preparing for the interview. So talking about this interview, I could say that this is the stage that I enjoyed preparing the most. It's because this is the deciding factor and this is the final stage of your final selection. So whatever you have learned these many days, you are going to present in front of the panel. So so many will say that this interview is completely about your personality. They're going to check your behavior and stuff. I'll not completely accept to that point. It's true only to some extent. See, if you're confident in all the concepts, then you'll automatically feel confident in the interview. For suppose if the panel asks you what is priority sector lending and also what is NPA, how will you resolve NPA? So at that time, they are not going to check your attitude, right? You need to open up your mouth. You need to say that answer. So having an idea of concept is very very important. I believe that the attitude and also the way how you speak, that is very very important, but that comes only through the concept. So that is a reason why I'll not say that you need to be proficient in the banking and insurance awareness, but the thing is, having a basic idea of every topic is very very important, and also that will boost your confidence in the interview. So talking about the interview, so I'll just display some of the questions which they have asked me in bank PO interview and also in an NIACL AO interview, so that you'll have an idea. Here are some of the questions. So nowadays, in all the bank PO interviews and insurance AO interviews, it's not like HR interviews in IT where you gonna get the questions like, why I need to hire you, where do you see yourself after 5 years, tell me your strength, tell me your weakness. So these are the questions which they'll not at all ask in the bank PO interviews. If they are asking all these sort of questions to you, then you are the luckiest person, I can say. So for interview, I can say that you be thorough with the personal information. For suppose if your name is somewhat catchy, then they'll ask you like what is the meaning of your name. And also you need to have an idea about the significance of your place, the hometown which you belong to. And also if they ask you what are the hobbies, if they find those hobbies interesting, then the discussion might turn into the complete personal interview as well. We never know. So have an idea about. And if you are working in an IT firm, then they'll ask you like why you have switched from IT to banking. And they'll ask you about some graduation related stuff as well. If you are belonging to CSE background or EC or Triple E, they might ask you some of the basics related to that graduation subject, or they might ask you like how will this graduation subject be useful in banking? Is there any useful purpose of that subject in the banking? So they might ask you in that way as well. So coming into this, these are some of the personal questions which you can expect in the interview, but there are very less chances. But apart from the personal information related questions, so you need to stress more on the banking and economy. Like there are some of the important key topics in banking awareness where you'll have RBI and its functions of RBI, and what is monetary policy committee, and what is NPA, what are the types of NPA, what is prompt corrective action, what is priority sector lending, what is financial inclusion, and what are the schemes related to financial inclusion, what are the different types of accounts, what are the different types of negotiable instruments, and uh, what are the different types of negotiable instruments and important government schemes which are in news. So these are the must do topics. You have to do all these topics too. It's because they might stress you on all these topics, and also they might ask for about like 4 to 5 questions. So you make sure you go through all these topics very well before getting into the interview. Apart from doing all these topics, so make sure you complete the union budget and economic survey thoroughly. It's because in my interview, this union budget discussion went for about like 7 to 8 minutes. They have asked me the different types of things which have introduced in budget recently, like Vande Bharat trains and also Gatishakti cargo terminals. And they have asked me what is cryptocurrency, on what technology does this cryptocurrency work, and do you think is it legal, and so what is the future of cryptocurrency, and what is the thing which Nirmala Sitharaman said about the disinvestment or the privatization. And they've asked me about the questions related to the income tax slabs and stuff. So make sure you go through the union budget and you study the union budget completely. Try to remember the figures for respective ministries. And so try to complete the banking awareness portion, insurance awareness, and the union budget and economic survey before you get to the interview. And I'd like to mention one more point, which is try to complete the newspaper on the day which you have the interview. So if you have interview today, try to complete the newspaper of today and try to complete the newspaper of yesterday. It's because they might ask you that in NIACL interview, they've asked me, do you have the habit of reading newspaper? I said like I don't have the habit of reading newspaper, but the thing is I read the newspaper of that day and the day before yesterday. So what did you, they'll ask like which newspaper do you read, and also they'll ask me like what are the headlines of today. So make sure, even though if you don't have the habit of reading newspaper, try to complete on the interview day and also the day before the interview. These 2 days you have to go through the newspaper and try to study the events which are in news about the insurance awareness or the banking related news. So this is about the interview preparation. And coming into the sources, I have already told you. For banking awareness, I referred to all the videos of Supriyo Panda, and I referred to all the individual topics, and I made a notes and I revised before I get into the interview. And for insurance awareness, I referred a material of Hollywood, that is insurance awareness by Hollywood. These are the two sources for banking awareness and insurance awareness. So here I'd like to mention some of the key points in the interview which you need to take care of. The first and the foremost point is you should never bluff in the interview. Always, if you don't know, if they ask a question, so if you don't know that answer, then you should simply accept that, sir, I don't have any idea about it. I'll look into it. So saying I don't know is not a big deal in the interview. You should not bluff as if you know, and also you should try to convince them by your answers. If you are perfectly sure about that answer, then you say that you say about that answer. If you don't know, then simply accept it. It's because there will be a panel of 4 to 5 members sitting in front of you who has for about like 10 to 15 years of experience, and also even if you try to bluff also, they'll easily catch from your expressions. So that is a thing. So try to accept it. Even if you want to take a guess of something, you say that, sir, I don't have an exact idea about it. If you permit me, then I'll try to take a guess on this, and also try to say your answer. So this should be your approach. Do not ever hesitate to say I don't know. If you don't know, just accept it, and also be true and be honest in the interview. That is very, very important. You have to be the real you in the interview. And the second most important point is that if you know some answer, do not ever get overexcited. It's because if we know answer, then we'll automatically get overexcited, and also we'll start saying that, and we'll show the overexcitement in our face. So that should not be the thing. If you know the answer, do not get overexcited. If you don't know the answer, do not get dull. Do not ever show the nervousness or the excitement in your face. Always have a mindset that you have to have a control on your body. Always you should be you should that 15 to 20 minutes, that body should not respond to all the changes. Like you have to be like very calm and composed in the interview. So that is a second most important point. Do not show the excitement or the nervousness in your face. Try to make your body feel relaxed and calm. That is the second most important point. And the third thing is, do not ever attend late to the interviews. It's because this might appear very silly, but that is true, dude. It's because I've gone to the interview stage very well. Always it's because my interviews, if they are in the other cities, then traveling and all, so you already will be getting vexed while traveling. So make sure you attend 30 minutes before the venue, and make sure you sit, you don't study anything before getting into the interview. Try to stay calm and relaxed. That is the most important thing. Whatever you have studied, you are going to present in front of the panel. So you should never have an attitude that you should never have a mindset that array 4 to 5 members will be sitting in front of me, how could I explain to them, how could I open up. That should not be your approach. You should always have an approach that I am going to explain to 3 to 4 people, and also they are going to listen to my words. And I'm gonna interact with all the senior people. So that has to be, that positive approach should be inculcated in you. And always stay positive, always be honest in the interview. And um, and one more thing, all the Tamil people are very, very lucky. It's because Jackson sir and Guidely team, during the time of SBPO and IBPSPO, at that time they have even conducted the mock interviews. So make sure before you make sure you before you attend for SBPO and IBPSPO interviews, try to attend the mock interviews conducted by Jackson sir and Guidely team. Those interviews will help you a lot. It's because sir has called the senior panel, so they will explain you, they'll give you the suggestions. So these are the things which you need to keep in mind. So now I'm gonna tell you some of my mistakes which I have committed during the preparation so that you can avoid. So here I'll display you some of the marks in prelims exam. So these are my marks in the prelims exam. So I've qualified in every banking exam and the insurance exam which they have conducted this year, and I've qualified every exam with a margin of 10 to 15 marks more than cutoff in every exam. After looking at all these marks in the prelims examination, I have reached to a stage where my overconfidence got very high, and I started neglecting on the mains exam. And also, I felt like I have qualified prelims with a margin of 10 to 15 marks. It's not a big deal for me. That's going to be a cakewalk for me. So, these sort of things have come into my mind. And also, I did not paid much attention towards the mains exam. So there comes a tragedy later on. So here are my final selections in mains exam. So after missing in mains exam with a margin of 1 to 3 marks, that hurts a lot, and that feeling is like very very arrogant, and also that feeling is very difficult to take. So why I'm showing these marks to you is that you should never get overexcited after qualifying in prelims, or you should never reach to a stage that I have qualified prelims with these many marks more than the cutoff, I can easily crack mains. Qualifying prelims with a margin of 1 mark, or with a margin of 10 to 15 marks or 20 marks more than the cutoff, it's not a big deal. You can qualify the prelims with a margin of 1 mark. It's just qualifying in nature. But the thing is, the real fight or the real battle starts in the mains examination. So do not ever neglect mains examination. Do not, the blunder which I did during, I remember the starting phase, the exam. I remember I have written SBA clerk, RRBP and RRB clerk during July and August, I guess. So at that time, I did not pay much attention to current affairs. So I did not even study current affairs after the prelims exam. After the prelims exam, the last 7 to 10 days, what I did was I referred a capsule of Adda 247. There will be capsule just before 7 to 10 days, I guess, before the mains exam. So I referred to that, and also I just gone through that, and also I went to the exam. Trust me, dude, that will not at all work out. It's because the current affairs, you need to study the current affairs along with the prelims itself. These capsules and also the videos at last, which will tempt us to watch, like top 300 current affairs of last 4 months, top 300 current affairs of last 3 months. These are the things that has to be only for revision. You should not directly get into that video. You have to revise at last. That's it. The only thing is, you never neglect focusing on current affairs. Start focusing on current affairs from the initial stage itself, along with the prelims. Just like you give some amount of time to max, some amount of time to reasoning, in the similar way, give some amount of time for current affairs. Give some amount of time current affairs for about 30 to 45 minutes every day, and try to inculcate that in your daily routine. The first 3 exams I remember is SBA clerk, RRBP, RRB clerk. I relied only on capsules, and also have gone to the exam, and that made me to miss my final selection. Then later on, I have focused on the current affairs. Then that, if I have become, and one more thing I just want to tell you, that is. You should never ever get dull after writing one examination. So you'll have ample amount of opportunities coming to you. If I get dull after writing SBA clerk, after missing SBA clerk, if I did not focus much attention towards the SBA PO and IBPS PO mains, I would not have gone to the interview stages. So that is a reason why give more importance to current affairs, and never get depressed by missing some final selections with a margin of, there will be some people who will be losing the final selection with a margin of 0.25 marks as well. That is the reason why, do not ever get disheartened. Try to give your 100% till you get the final selection. Now I'll wrap up this video by telling you some of the things which you need to keep in mind during preparation. So the first and the foremost thing is, stop comparing yourself with others. Do not ever compare yourself with others. Do not ever ask any other person or any topper like how many hours you need to study and how many hours you used to study while preparation. Every individual is different according to their own point of view. Some take for about like 10 hours to study, some take for about like 6 hours, some take for about like 3 hours. Everyone will not have the same amount of excitement while studying. If you take me, I cannot study not more than 5 to 6 hours. So if you ask me to study for 10 hours, I cannot do that. So I can put only 6 to 7 hours of time. So it does not matter like how many hours you are giving for studying. Even though if you give 4 to 5 hours, and even though if you give those 5 to 4 to 5 hours consistently for about like 8 to 10 months, that will surely fetch your final selection. That is very very important. Stop comparing yourself, and if the other person is getting more marks when compared to you, do not ever get jealous, or do not ever feel like dull, and the other person is getting very less marks than you. Do not ever get overexcited, or do not ever feel proud about yourself. Always you need to have a mindset. It's always you versus you. You need to be a better person every day. You need to be a better one when compared to the person who you are studying. That should be your mindset. That should be your attitude. You know your weak areas, you know your strength areas. You need to analyze your strength, you need to analyze your weak areas. Try to formulate your own strategy, try to implement that strategy, try to make that strategy better each and every day. This is the first and the foremost thing which you need to keep in mind during the preparation. And the second most important point is interview. Do not ever take interview phase lightly. Remember, that will decide your fate in the final selection. If you look at the interview ratio in SBA P1 and ASL AO, the ratio is like 75 is to 25 in SBA P1 and ASL AO. In IBPS PO, it is 80 is to 20. So 75% will be from mains and 25% will be from interview marks. So you should not neglect giving importance to interview. Try to give more and more importance to interview after completing the mains examination. Give your 100% in the interview. I agree that luck matters in the interview. Luck is important, but the thing is that is only up to a very small portion. The hard work which you have put in, the dedication which you have put in, that will lead you to the final selection. Do not ever have a mindset that I don't have luck, and this interview all depends upon the luck and the panel. That is true, but that is only true to some extent. See, it's not like BTech where we study for 7 to 8 days before the exam and we go to the exam and we just pass the exam. It's not the case here. It's your career. The amount of effort, the amount of consistency, the amount of hard work that you have put in the last 8 to 10 months, that will decide your final selection. It's not the luck or it's not some other thing. The hard work and the consistency, that will surely lead you to the final selection. Have that faith in you, have that belief in you, and give your 100% and give your best in the interview stage as well. Third most important point which everyone gets connected to is the relatives pressure or their never ending questions. uh, the most important thing is you need not even give a shit about all these latest questions, dude. It's because they are the people who will change their words according to the situations. If you don't get a job initially, if you they'll say that you can't acquire that job. If you get a job, then they'll say that you have that capability. So they'll immediately change their words according to the situation. I remember when I initially left the software job, so there is a relative of mine who said like, this government job nowadays is very very difficult. It's very difficult for undeserved category as well, and you always will enjoy. It's difficult. You better stay in software job and earn for about like 25,000. That's more than enough. No, why you want to try for government exams again, and why you want to waste your life? So he said in that way, and after getting job, then he started saying that, Amrut, I know that you can surely get the selection. You are multi-talented. I know that you'll dance. I know that you'll give your best. I know that you'll acquire the job. So immediately he changed the words. So you need not even bother about all those relatives people. Some people will discourage you during your preparation. Always try to get surrounded with the positive people. There will be, I'll not say that all relatives will be in that way. There will be few people who will always encourage you, who will give you the positive vibes. Make sure you get surrounded with those positive people, and make sure you have that feeling that I can do. So try to spend time with those people and try to ignore the people who give the negative vibes to you. And see, till you get the job, you need to face all those words. But after you get the job, then you'll not even remember not even a single shit from their mouth. The only thing you need to have in your mind is that your parents have believed in you, your parents have trusted on you. So you need to fulfill that trust, and the only thing that has to be in your mind is, I have to make my parents feel happy. I have to make my parents feel proud about myself, and also I need to have a well settled job where my work life balance and where my progression of my career is very very important. So that should be your attitude, that should be your approach. These relatives and these never ending questions from their mouths, you listen here, you live here, that's it. Your parents, you have to make them feel happy, you have to be in a good position. That has to be your approach, and that has to be your goal. Next important thing is, do not ever constrain yourself. It's because I've seen so many of my friends who will say that, bro, this PO interviews and all this requires descriptive writing and interview, so I cannot handle all those stuff. So this clerk level exam is more than enough for me. This is more than sufficient. I can't give PO. I'll not write PO exams. Do not ever have that sort of mindset. It's because the amount of practice that you give, it's not like different for every exam. If the same amount of practice, the same amount of syllabus you're gonna do, the only thing is the level of questions gonna get increased in SBA PO and in NIACL and stuff. So the practice which you do for SBA clerk, the same amount of practice you'll do for SBA PO. The practice which you do for IBPS clerk, the same amount of practice for IBPS PO. So do not ever think that I'm not going to get that, and also do not ever limit yourself. Always have a belief that I can become a probationary officer, I can become an administrative officer. So this have this sort of positive vibe and have this sort of belief in you. And one more thing, do not ever get disheartened after missing one exam. It's because in an year you'll have ample amount of opportunities. The best part about the banking exams is that the frequency of exams. If you miss becoming an SBA clerk, you'll have chance of becoming SBA PO. If you miss becoming SBA PO, then you'll have the chance of IBPS PO. If you miss becoming IBPS PO, you'll have the chance of IBPS clerk. In an year, you're gonna have SBA clerk, SBA PO, IBPS clerk, IBPS PO, RRB PO, RRB clerk. And apart from this, there will be some insurance exams coming as well. This time there is a high chance that so many people are saying you're going to get LIC AAO and LIC assistant as well. So make sure you give your best in every exam and have multiple jobs in your hand, and also uh, give your 100% in every exam. Do not ever get disheartened after missing the final selections in one exam. So try to give your 100% till you get the final selection. Do not get relaxed or do not get overconfident after getting in one exam. Try to maintain the same amount of excitement, try to maintain the same amount of dedication and hard work till you achieve the final selection. I remember the amount of happiness that when the NIACL AO result is out, there is the result has been circulated in a PDF where there were 300 names and the roll numbers given. So when I have searched my roll number and my name, so when I found out my name and roll number in that PDF, the amount of happiness that you go through when you see your name in the PDF, and the amount of happiness that you go through when you see the golden words like, "We are glad to inform you that you have been provisionally shortlisted under unreserved so and so category in so and so bank," is 1,000 times better than the message you get from your crush on Instagram. Hope you get what I mean. That happiness and that feeling is very very immense when you tell your positive result to your parents. So the amount of excitement which they show, that will always hold a special place in your heart, and that will remain as one of the special moments in your life. And Jackson sir, apart from your teaching style, I just love your teaching style. But apart from that, I love the way you motivate others, sir. It's because the way you give the positive vibes, the way you motivate, it's very, very inspiring, sir. It's because when we are in the preparation phase, whenever we pass in the exam, you'll express the happiness from our point of view. And also, whenever we fail in the exam, you express the sadness, and also you give the positive vibes that time, and also you motivate us, you encourage us that time. So that gives energy automatically to all the aspirants. So I've seen very few faculties who will do that, giving the motivation and also giving the positive vibes. Do not ever stop that, sir. And one more thing, you are a very kind person at heart. So many people will show a lot of attitude to reply to all the messages. But even though if you are like very busy, you'll look at all the messages, you'll listen to all the people's, and also you'll give the suggestions to them. You'll give the kind of positive vibes to them, and also you'll reply to all the people. So have that kind nature in you, sir. Do not ever lose that quality in you. That is the best quality in you. And one more thing is, I wish this CWJ should reach greater and greater heights, and I wish all the best for your future endeavors, sir. And thank you so much, Jackson sir, Kanis sir, Reena ma'am, you three people. I'll always be grateful to you three people. And all the best for all the people who are appearing for the upcoming exams this year. Just for a few days, come out of your comfort zone, stay focused on your goals, and be consistent. That will surely lead you to the final selection. Do not ever lose hope. Always have a self belief, and give your best. And thank you so much, everyone, and all the best. Cheers.